city. DC, that's where I'm from. 1130 podcast. Dre on wheels, he is the one. Let's get it. Yeah. Who with me? Let's get it. Yeah. Who with me? Yeah. I'm from the city. DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 1130 podcast. Dre on wheels, he is the one.
He the one, nigga.
Let's get it, baby.
He the one with me. So
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Y'all already know what it is, man. Welcome back, you guys, to the 1130 podcast. What's good, everybody doing out there? Appreciate you guys joining me back here for another great episode, you dig, of the podcast. Good morning, you guys. It is Wednesday. Hope everybody's week is going great. Thank you guys for joining me back here on EB Radio. For everybody, man, who download the app, man, and listen to me on EB Radio this morning, man. It's gonna be a great one. For those who are joining me on YouTube, also, man, y'all already know what it is, man. Appreciate you guys back here for another episode. If you guys new to the channel, man, if you're new to the 1130 podcast, sit tight, man. It's gonna be a great one. And also, man, don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube, man. Smash the notification bell, like it, leave a comment, share it, so we can get the 1130 podcast up and out there even more. And also, you guys, don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, man, yo, this is going to be a very exciting episode here this week on the podcast, man. For real, I got a cool guest lined up, you guys. You may know him, you may seen him. He was on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. He been a guest on there twice. It's his first time here on the main show, so we're gonna chop it up and have some fun, you guys. My guy Shiz Lanksy, he's coming to us from Boston, Massachusetts. He's the host of the Off the Top Ropes podcast, you guys. Yes, man, they just hit 3K 1,000 downloads, man, so they doing their thing, man. They trucking. But yeah, Shiz Lanksy, he gonna be joining me here on the podcast to chop it up, man, about everything, man, as far as, you know, mental health, man, the loss of his dad, and just, you know, everything here on the podcast. But before we get into all that good stuff, you guys, I want to shout out my guest who was on last week, my guy Taye Uhuru, yeah, from Cleveland, Ohio, man. Taye, thank you for being on the podcast, man, sharing your world traveling experience, man, to all over the world, man. It was cool. But you guys, man, we're gonna get into the show. I said it, man. My guest Shiz Lanksy, man, from B-Town, man. Shiz, what's going on with you, homie?
Thank you for having me, Dre. Nice to see you again. 3-time returning podcast champ, of course. But nonetheless, man, I'm just here to have a great time with you, man. Bless up, man. Everything's everything from my side, man. We're just trying to get the season 3 wrap it up pretty soon. Take our season break to come after season 4 later on this year.
Hey, that's cool, man. That's what's up, man. I'm looking forward to all of it, man. I've been down for the ride. You just got to like 3K downloads on the Off the Top Ropes podcast, man. Congratulations to you, man. Keep doing your thing. I see you with the merch and everything, man. So I'm praying for you, man, and I'm, you know, wishing you nothing but the best, man, with the podcast and outside of that, man. But like I said, you guys, yes, he's a 3-time guest here on the podcast. First time here on this main podcast, but for some viewers who are not familiar with you, Shiz Lanksy, you might tell them a little something about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm Shiz Lanksy, aka the Black Tony Soprano, the Black John Gotti of our beloved thing of ours called Off the Top Rope podcast, man. Very vivid to this thing. 3 seasons in. We started this thing last year. We should try and grow strong. We bring comedy, humor, but most importantly, we just come with the straight facts. And some things is not for the weak at heart. So if you're really going to be in tune to what we do, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Shout out to the YouTube page, podcast platforms, the social medias, www.bonfire.com, where you can find the t-shirts at, and just trying to grow this thing, man. So little by little, I thank you, Dre, and I appreciate you for the 3,000 download shout out too. Yeah, that was long overdue for us this season, but I'm happy for us. I'm happy for the boys because they worked their asses off this season, even though some of the complexity of things. But I can't be any more happier for me, for myself, for this thing of ours right now.
Hey, man, that's what's up, man. I'm happy for you, man, and all the success that's going to come with the podcast, man, Off the Top Ropes podcast, and with you, man. But just in general, man, how life's treating you right now, man? I think last time we chatted, man, was back probably in December. I had you on the podcast, but, you know, how's life treating you right now?
It's complicated. it's like a complicated thing in my life right now. It's just at first it was last time that we had kind of talked, we kind of like it was on a downward spiral. I know we kind of talked about this already. Like my father, who had passed away in November of 2020. So that kind of hit me hard. And because of the nature of our relationship as father and son, it's non-existent. But I have little sisters that came out of him. So some things you can't ignore and there's certain things you can't run away from, I guess. So just going through that, dealing with that situation, just moving back to back, trying to just find my comfortable footing in a rightful place, and just dealing with other stuff. So at first it was negative, but it's turned out to be a more positive now because I'm more understanding about what's going on. And I know certain things is going to sting, but you have to keep moving on. You can't let things certain hold you back. And that's how people, go into that deep depression. So then sometimes they don't crawl out of that, or it takes lives. And I don't want to be that type of person to go through that. So I've just been trying to heal up my wounds for the last few months.
Hey man, hey, I'm right here. If you need anyone to talk to, man, just on serious note, man, because it is Mental Health Awareness Month, and not just just to say that, because man, we as Black brothers, man, we go through a lot, on a daily. Whether we have someone maybe to talk to or not, but as a Black man, we just with all the pride, we just try to keep it balled in. And feeling like, what's the reason to talk about it? It's not gonna help. But yo, man, I'm with you, man. And you talked about the passing, of your father. I don't want to dwell on that, but how you been handling, that since then.
I mean, we can talk about that. Matter of fact, this is to the fans who, let's just say, who has a parent or parents that was either not in their lives or that was really in bad with drugs or anything, or you just didn't have a relationship with that absentee parent. This is more likely for you because I'm one of those people. So at first, it hit me hard because I didn't get the chance to say I was sorry for me pushing him away and me doing the things that I was doing that I didn't want to be bothered with the man at first. Then as time kind of dwell on and more that I got older, he started getting sicker and not really making that opportunity to try to make my peace with him. Like, okay, you know what? I understand. And I know people that go through certain things when they're growing up as kids and it progresses on to their adulthood. Some old habits die hard, man. And that's one of the things that like this drug epidemic right now, it's rapid, it's chaotic. And I see certain people that I once knew in that situation. And it's hard to imagine if one of us would have slipped up here and we ended up being in that predicament. How would someone view us now? You know what I'm saying? So I can't hold all that anger against my father for that matter, because I pushed him away, not him pushing me away in a way, try to protect me, but try to keep me away from that lifestyle or seeing him like that. So, and I held like bad hatred, like a badge of honor. And that was the one thing I did that kept me feel angrily throughout the whole 18, 19 years of me knowing him, and progresses the way that it did. And sometimes people shouldn't have that hate in their heart, especially when a parent tries. You know what I'm saying? So, and I remember doing an After Dark episode the day after he died that morning, and I kind of like said like my piece there. Like, I know I couldn't do that much about it, but I'm gonna try to do whatever I can now. And I have to accept the fact that I was somebody's son. You can't ignore that, man. So
That's deep, man. That's deep. You talked about you pushed them away. Why do you push them away?
Because I didn't understand the full story behind his life. I didn't understand he got addicted to heroin when he was 8. He didn't have his father around and he was being abused. And certain things you take and you run as fast as you can. And some people that want to succumb to that pain, they go to drugs. That's the one coping mechanism. This is why, like, drinking alcohol and shit like that is part of the problem as well. Especially, let's just say, for instance, Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. Not to try to throw them into the mix, but drugs and alcohol and several things that kicked into play caused the things that happened. And now we see what people go through behind the scenes in their own mental minds, and it can cause them to do so much stuff. So please, people, mental illness is for real. Because I believe sometimes there's some things that I get anxiety nowadays.
Yeah.
And I'm super antisocial the way that how I once was. And how was you at one point? The world was your oyster, and now the world is just like a living nightmare. You know what I'm saying? So certain people go through certain things like that, man. I just want people to understand you are not alone in this world.
Hey man, I like that. That's some facts right there, because you're not alone. And man, I talk about, on my documentary about my biological father. I had multiple father figures in my life, from my stepdad, even losing him when I was 7, and but mainly my biological dad, wanting to be in my life, but didn't really want to be in my life. So like every chance that I would see him, he would want to be in my life, and hey, give me his number and say, call me, and, and stuff like that. But it just would, never, go nowhere. And I think, everything, if it's meant, it'll happen. And, but that's, on my story of, my father figure. But you talked about things, trauma, as a kid. How was your childhood?
First things first, shout out to my uncle Gary J. Webster. He was my uncle. He is my uncle. He's also my godfather. He was like my rabbi. He was at one point in my life like an arch enemy in my eyes. He was just so different. One was represent establishment, other one was represent rebellionism, and you know how those things goes. But there were certain things that he taught me during that time frame that it still stands out to this very day. And that's what protected me and keeping my ass alive and safe and stuff like that. So as much as that father figure that comes into play, certain people might reject them. Embrace some of the teachers that they teach you too, because they only want what's best for you too. Mm-hmm. And I don't think any other person, male figure wise, besides him, would have ever really gone that far of a distance for myself. So that's why I call him my dad as well. You know what I mean? But it's my upbringing, grew up in the projects, West Broadway Development, aka D Street Projects. Before I moved there, I was at Franklin Field for like a year, but I don't really remember those years. As I grew up, I didn't know that my mother had multiple sclerosis, MS, herself, till I got older and understood a little better. And we had our home health days come to the house every day to help her out, get me ready for school. Make sure that I did my homework and all of this stuff. So, cause my sister was working, she was going to school too, so she wasn't really home like that sometimes. So I guess for a few years it was those days, but I had good days in those projects. There were certain things that I learned how to fight at the age of 3. I learned that when I cut my hand, cutting an apple, my sister, stitched it up for me and taught me actually how to do it myself, believe it or not. Those were some good days that I remember as a kid growing up at, 122 Delesio Court in South Boston. But the racial tension back then, it was so different too, because it started migrating different ethnicities into those project buildings as well. And you gotta remember, this is the early 90s. So racial tensions were still dying down, but they were still there. And Whitey Bulger was still running around Southie at the time period too anyway. So a lot of things had kicked up that decade. Good and bad. I remember that Whitey came into the project and gave all the small kids like $1. Who would have thought, right?
Yeah.
Just one of those things that you just remember so vaguely, but now we look at it now, it's just like If only we knew back then, the wonder how that we was going to be involved in it as we got older. And that's what kind of transpired. And I got out of the hood thing at like 6 because I moved in with my uncle at that time because my mother's health was deteriorating and my sister couldn't take me with her wherever she was about to be going to, so I had to move in with my uncle. So I was away from that neighborhood for like a few years. I came back when I was 10 for like a year, and then I went back, moved back in with him, and then I think at the age of 14 when I started having my own life after high school, I would go down to the old neighborhood and I would see the same friends that I grew up with still there. And I'm kicking it with them like nothing's changed. And that's the way that it's been right now, since. Except now we're more adults now, so we don't get to, have that luxury of time where all of us have families and kids and stuff like that and jobs. So, as we get older, we start to understand that. But childhood though, I shed a tear every time I think about the good old days because you can never get those days back. Yeah. Cherish those memories.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. Childhood is something, man. You gotta just keep moving forward, and we lose people that we love the most. Some people we may, didn't even know, that meant so much to us when they just come into our life, maybe for a period of time, man, and just they gone. But man, life is precious, man, and I respect you and I commend you, man, for coming on the podcast and and telling your story, man, because man, it takes a lot, to do that, and you talked about, growing up in Boston and stuff like that. I was Boston, and growing up.
Boston as a whole growing up. And let's just say Boston's like a mini version of New York, if anything else. Everything I think New York incorporates, I think we have the similar things to it, just our stuff is different. Growing up in the hood, growing up in Boston, side streets, project buildings, of different alliances, stuff like that, and mysterious stuff just happens. So, I mean, I can't say like it was like like Chicago or nothing like that. It was more of like certain neighborhoods are cool, and other neighborhoods you don't want to be there. Other neighborhoods it's iffy right now because of certain situations that goes on. Sometimes you just gotta be careful about who you associate yourself with. Exactly. And you know what I'm saying? So me, in my predicament, in my lifestyle, I was only around one neighborhood. That's the neighborhood that I grew up in that I embraced the most. So the amount of people say that's the town full of ways. So I grew up in there. And I learned my teachings from that concrete jungle in there that helped me survive. Otherwise, I could have been dead when I was 18, twice. So, I had 1 foot in school and 1 foot in the streets. So you can tell what that tug of war led me to. So I embraced the good and the bad growing up wise. I mean, I did my thing in school, of course, like that. But after school, I was still one of the boys. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I didn't take it as like I gotta do that and stuff like that. I was just trying to find my footing into the world because at those times you're asking yourself as a human being, as a person, who am I? Mm-hmm. Who are you as your identity? Mm-hmm. Certain people don't sense that until when certain key things happen in their lives and then they go down that one path. Like this is my path that I'm chosen to go. You know what I mean? So I just being careful about the street beast, the hood beast, and some of these things are everlasting. Like it's been rooted for years, and I think it's never gonna stop. Certain beasts have stopped, but otherwise, it's just like every other damn major city that got accumulation of 3 things: money, drugs, and somehow street gangs and neighborhoods. So no matter what, yes, you might have a problem with someone that's connected to somebody, and then it can evolve rapidly, but it can be diffused in one day. I don't know, but I have my fair share of those things too. But by the grace of God, I escaped away, or somehow they understood the person that I was. It was like, yo, he's not that type of person that really would do all that. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He doesn't register with certain people, but be careful about wearing certain hats out here. That's the number one thing I'm gonna tell people. Careful about what fitted that you wear. Go into a certain neighborhood with a certain fitted, forget it. they're gonna assume that you're one of those kids, and then there's no talking involved.
Man,
And that's the only thing I gotta say about that.
Yeah, man, that's tough, man. I feel what you're saying, man. Just trying to find yourself, man. I struggle with that for a long time. Did you ever struggle with trying to fit in?
Oh yes, totally. Me being as a little midget, chubby, fat kid, you get how that was. Get called like Biggie Smalls Jr., stuff like that, Smalley Bigs, Big Black, a whole 9 yards. So I've been through that, trying to fit in where it fit into where I feel comfortable with myself, my own skin. And it wasn't like that till high school. I think from the course of elementary to middle school, I kind of found the group that I needed. I kind of hung around that, and that was it. I was comfortable. But when it reached high school, it was a different ball game because I went to a hood school, so it was more what hood. It's more like who you affiliated with, or what hood did you claim. Mm-hmm. And somebody may know someone within a certain place that probably might think, oh, so this dude or whatever. This, that, and the third. Sometimes people don't get involved in that. I didn't get involved in that first. It was just me trying to find my footing to who I was. I knew I was a wrestling nerd. You know what I'm saying? So how many other high schoolers like myself who were Black that watched wrestling? That was very distinctive find. You know what I mean? But I found a couple of people, and one of them who used to be on the podcast with me, no longer with us today. He was one of those people too. So he and I had a pretty good understanding of fitting in, or just say like, you know what, be a standout, stand away from other people. Don't be a doppelganger. Be yourself. Be who you are. Be who that you believe that you are. You know what I'm saying? And when you do that, you see the different people that will either stay around you. Those are the people that you need to keep around you. The other people now are total irrelevant. So me being a wrestling fan, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist, other stuff of that nerdy nature. I was doing that as a middle school and as a high school. You know what I'm saying? Reading Boondock comic books. Everything else. No one was hit to the Boondocks until I put them onto it. Before the TV show came out. That's what made it even more like puzzling, that some of the things that they said that, this is all right, like this, that, and the third. Now they're like folk culture history. You know what I'm saying? So people can't ignore that. So, just me being a nerd got me to expose the other side of what I could have been, but still embracing it too, because what if you're in that similar situation on your own? The teachers can actually help you to survive, you know what I mean? But more importantly, you being confident in yourself to be like, you know what, I am who I am. I may be a nerd on one end, but I can still beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of learned to how to cross-fuse everything and just be a hybrid. You see? So I'm just like, now, me, as a 31-year-old man, I'm comfortable in my skin now more than anything. Hey. I learned to accept that because ain't no one can change you but you.
Exactly. You're right about that, man. Can't nobody change you, man. I struggled for a while being comfortable in my skin or just trying to fit in, I went to schools, and majority of the schools I went to, I had to go sort of out of my district because most of the schools, like I said, that were near me weren't even wheelchair accessible. So I had to go maybe uptown to school. So all the beef, they had, at that school or the other school, it was, among them. I always minded my own business. But of course, I like the Pokemon and, all that, growing up a little bit for a little while, but wrestling was the main thing, being a Black guy like wrestling too, especially, as it carried on, like high school, you get looked at a certain way, by like 99, 2000, once Rock Stone Cold left, everybody figured out what the fuck it is. And, that's it, so after that, 06, 07, you still watching wrestling and so, man, I struggled for a while, and it wasn't even, a couple of years ago to really just, find my footing and just, hey, be comfortable, like you said, in your skin, and just nobody can change you. but you, So man, I really do understand the similarities, man, with you. What keeps you inspired, man?
What keeps me inspired? To be honest with you, what keeps me inspired, I think it's family, it's myself, it's just the future. It's just trying to make a better living for yourself, but more importantly, spiritual and mental happiness is what I've been seeking for the last few years. I want to be able to say I can die happy now. I can say I try my best and whatever the hell I did to make it this far in my life, and whatever I left behind can continue on my legacy for me, to say us, our family, clan, whoever family, and this goes to anybody. I know everyone wants to try to achieve something before they die, so when they pass it down to their children, they can continue that legacy on for them too, so that name lives on. That's what I want for myself. Hence why I'm going so damn hard for this podcast right now, because I want to leave something behind to my kids and be like, yo, I try my best with this. I'm passing you the keys. Make me proud.
Hey man, I like that. I really do. What keeps you inspired is the future, man. Because hey, we don't know what tomorrow brings, man. And, yo, I really dig that. You also talking about, man, you wanna, die happy. Are you happy in general?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Why are you not happy?
It's multiple things, and I can keep talking forever, but there's several things that it's never going to be right. It's never going to be fixable. And there's certain scars that you can't just wipe away forever, man. There's certain things that you can't let go. You know what I mean? So I can't answer that question.
Okay, that's cool. Respectfully, man. I understand that, man. Man. This has been an exciting episode, you guys. For real, it's been an exciting episode. We're probably gonna move on, you guys, to lighten it up real quick. We're gonna move on to lighten it up, but before we do, you guys, I'm gonna take a quick commercial break, you guys, here on EB Radio and YouTube, you guys. I got my guest Shiz Lanksy, man. We ain't going nowhere. We right here on EB Radio and YouTube, you guys. So we'll be right back. You're listening, you're watching to the 1130 podcast, you dig?
Welcome to EB Radio.
Making a podcast just got a lot easier. Meet Anchor, the easiest way for anyone to make a high-quality podcast and distribute it everywhere audio is heard. No studio or fancy equipment needed. With Anchor, all you need to do to start podcasting is hold your phone up to your ear to record, either by yourself or with friends. You can also add music, background tracks, and voice messages from your listeners all right from your phone. Then publish it everywhere, including Apple Podcasts and Google Play Music with just one tap. That's it. You're all set up. It's really that easy. You can use Anchor on the go or from your desktop, and either way you get unlimited podcast hosting. All this combined means it just got ridiculously easy to make your own podcast, whether you're a beginner or a pro. And the best part is that Anchor's 100% free. Get the app now for iOS or Android, or visit anchor.fm to get started. We can't wait to hear your podcast.
Paper, nigga, what it really cost you? If we grind from the bottom, then it feel more awesome. Don't be scared of us, just approach with caution. 1130 podcast, nigga, is you watching from the city? DC, that's where I'm from. 1130 podcast, Dre on wheels.
Yo, appreciate you guys sticking with me throughout the commercial break. Welcome back here to the 1130 podcast here on EB Radio and YouTube this week, man. I got my guest Shiz Lanksy, man, chopping it up with me, man. He's the host of the Off the Top Ropes podcast. Man, just chatting it up, man. Having some fun. We're gonna lighten it up now. We're gonna lighten it up here on the podcast. But we're gonna kick it off right now, you guys. It's time, you guys, for the WTF moment of the week, you guys. Yes, Shiz Lanksy, man, from Boston, man. He's my guest. I'm allowing him to go first, man. I like my guests to go ahead and share their WTF moments there. What the fuck moments of the week? You know, you have a WTF moment of the week, Shiz?
I matter of fact, you brought this up to me, and I sure do. For those of you that don't know, the Jacksonville music scene between, I guess if I'm thinking about this correctly, Julio Fulio and Youngin Ace, something like that. There's 2 music videos you guys need to watch. It is the biggest. I mean, I can't. Okay, let's just say this will make Tupac's hit 'em up in a new generation form look to shame. Jesus Christ. The first one. I mean, actually, just do it in this chronological order. The first one, Youngin Ace, Who I Smoke. Now, we listen to this particular song. You're not going to look at the video and thinking, oh, it's just guys playing golf on the course and everything like that, and there's some traditional music playing in the background. The beat that they used is from the White Chicks movie. And now I wonder, I don't want to expose it, but people's going to be like, oh, this is, whoever remixes this beat is on point. Like, this is dope. But then when the beat drops and the lyrics came in, and if you pay attention to the lyrics, you're like, oh my God, what did he just say? Wait, time out. And rewind it back and play it again. You're going to be like dissecting this whole entire thing like I did yesterday. And the other one, the response to that particular song is called When I See You. And it was remixed of one of the Fantasia beats. I forgot the name of the song. But for people that know their music, you're going to look at that video and you're going to be like, oh my God, that's taking it way too far. That's my WTF moment of the week.
Oh, man. That's
Julio
crazy.
Fulio and Youngin Ace. YUNGEENACE.
I'm checking that out, man. I'm checking that out for real. I want to check that out. I gotta check that out. But yo, you got my WTF moment, man. It's not as wild as my man Shiz Lanksy, because his is pretty wild. Mine's my WTF moment, you guys. Some of you may have seen it this past weekend. It was a building, man, that was, on fire and stuff like that. And they say, yo, man, cats, they got 9 lives, man, for real, 9 lives. And this building, like I said, was on fire. And this cat was like, yo, man, I got to make a decision. Now, it was speculation whether the cat was thrown or did the cat jump. But the cat jumped out of this building. It was seen jumping out on the fifth floor of this burning building and just landed on all 4 legs and just hopped right up and just walked on off. Like nothing completely happened, though. I was like,
wow.
That cat must have, used one of his lives right there, WTF all the way, like.
Little seltzer goes nice on the flight. 5:18, so this is caught on camera. A cat putting one of its 9 lives to the test, jumping out of a 5th floor window in Chicago. The building was on fire. It had nowhere to go. That is indeed a leap of faith.
Wow.
Well, they always land on their feet.
I know.
Even on the grass from 5 stories. Hopped up and ran away like nothing ever happened. Kind of like that deer that guy hit in front of me in Carolina years ago. He popped up and ran off like it didn't even happen. It was crazy. Chicago Fire Department shared this video. It's been viewed 250,000 times.
Oh my goodness.
Man, that cat paw ain't broken or nothing. It just bounced off like it was on the trampoline and just kept it going. Just kept it going.
Wow.
Yeah. WTF right there. I know, man.
Yo. Oh, man.
Yeah, man. That's crazy, man. But we're going to move on here on the podcast. Speaking of tracks and music, man, how you digging or liking the new J. Cole album?
To be honest with you, I have not listened to probably maybe 2 tracks on it yet. I got to one, but I was heading to a party, so I couldn't really listen to the whole thing on Spotify. So I can't answer that right now, but thank God that he came out with an album. I think people was kind of scared. What the hell was going on with J. Cole anyway? Now, the only thing I'm waiting for is Kendrick Lamar telling me he's dropping an album too, and I can't wait for that. So I can't answer that question right now, but I'm pretty sure I trust J. Cole with his album. I trust J. Cole. But I remember there was a track that he did with Killer doing the intro. I was like, oh my God. And it sounded so fire. And I was like, yo, I gotta find this album. So I haven't found it yet, but when I get a good source and when I listen to it, like binge play it, so I have a better understanding, I'll probably just like the rest of the world, like, oh my God, like, bro, finally.
Hey, that's what's up. Hey, that's what's up, man. Yeah, his album is dope, man. Everybody was talking about it. Friday he dropped off season, and speaking of off season right now, but basketball is still, the season is still going on. He's over in Africa. Shout out to my guy Taye, who was on last week. He's over in Africa right now, playing for the BAL Patriots right now. So you know. Like I think that's dope. You know, he's kind of like transcending and, you know, crossing over, doing multiple things. You know, dropped the album, everybody talking about it, and now he's over there playing basketball though. I think that's interesting though. Speaking of basketball, man, what's going on with the Celtics?
You really want my honest opinion about my Celtics right now?
I just wanted, man, honest opinion.
This was a disappointing season, man. When Jalen went down with that wrist injury, and that was season ending, I was like, oh crap. I was like, Tatum can't do all this technically by himself, and who's really gonna be that next man? I'm trying to step up to, you know, take Jalen's minutes to help out, and I can't name 4 people off my bench, and we don't really have a purified shooting. I can't say I fully trust Evan Fournier to a certain extent, but he's not Jalen. You know, for all he's just a mid-range scorer. And when you try to put the ball in his hands when it's clutch time, I wouldn't trust him. Give it to Jason. This was just the point in season. I told people this. We needed a center, and we didn't get one. So that is your big problem, because I can't trust Tristan that much. I can't trust Mr. Thompson that much. Robert Williams has been going through his little side injuries and stuff like that too. So he hasn't been playing that many games. I mean, he's valuable, but he's just been injured this season. So, and Kemba. Oh, his knee injuries is what's keeping this man back, and this is what I'm a fear for the worst when it comes to this playing. This playing, I have a funny feeling we're not gonna win that playing, and I'm gonna be like, Danny Ainge is gonna be in that hot seat in the next few weeks. I can't point the finger at Stevens, because how many times have we said we needed a big guy, and you can't give us a big guy. And then when you sign Tristan Thompson, I'm like, it's pretty decent, but that's not what I was looking for. And then you see all these other damn centers who stay with their teams, and they're doing better this season than what they did the last one. So I've blamed Mr. Danny Ainge for this. Like, he could have pulled the trigger on so many times, on so many different occasions. How many, like, and even for DeMarcus Cousins' situation, we could have been grabbed him, but no, we didn't. No, nonetheless, I'm gonna call this year a bust. I won't say, depending on who we face in the play. If we face Charlotte, we could win, but if we face the Wizards, nope, forget it. Russell Wilson is a triple-double machine. You guys need to trade Russell to us, and we'll give you a few pieces back, man. We'll give you Marcus Smart. We'll give you Kimball. We'll give you a couple of picks and maybe one person off the bench. And saying, and y'all can keep Bill. Saying y'all keep Bradley Bill. He's not tempted to go anywhere. But Russell, he's going to be that trade that might know. If you really want to be on if you really want to be on an MVP contending team, y'all gotta have to send me some players. Marcus Smart might actually be part of that list now. Hey. That's all I gotta say about my Celtics, man. So Danny Ainge, from me to you, you gotta be fired. Stevens, I'm giving you one more season to turn this program around and use that smarts of yours. Otherwise, bro, don't even think about it. Please don't drive a center. Please do not drive a in next year's drive. Do not do it. Get a veteran that can come in, that can play, that can be that presence, and that can be a leader on defense. That's all that I need from the Celtics right now this summer. That's it.
The Celtics, they started off a little hot, man, but it seemed like things are just, watering down with them right now. I'm not even going to talk about the Celtics, man, because my Lakers, man, they falling down the charts right now. We just got LeBron back, and also my man, Anthony Davis, AD, and they still bull jiving right now though. But the Wizards are looking nice, man. Of course, Russell Westbrook, is doing his thing with Bradley Beal and stuff. So I'm really intrigued what's going down and who's going to be all in this playoffs, man. When they come down to it in a couple of weeks, man. Yeah. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting. But you guys, man, we're gonna move on here on the podcast. You guys, man, last week, man, it was going crazy all around the country, man, because the gas pipeline, you guys, done went out and stuff like that, and it caused a whole lot of shutdowns and stuff. People was panicking, buying, and all that. What was your thoughts on it when you saw that, man? Because I was like, wow, they told people, man.
One word, stupidity. This is the same exact thing when the whole pandemic outbreak that's the first started happening, and then the whole quarantine stage one was happening. Everyone was rushing to Walmart, the Target, to buy up toilet paper and sanitized wipes and everything else. It seems like every few years there's always something. 2009, the Popeye's chicken sandwich, and that that whole thing. 2020. Toilet paper, paper towels, hand sanitizer, Lysol, whole 9 yards. Everywhere was sold out. Now 2021, we got people buying up gasoline at gas stations in tugs, and driving them things home and leaving that gas station bone dry for anybody else. I've never seen that before.
It's so crazy because the firefighters, I can't remember what place this was at, but the firefighters were called to an area because neighbors, they was like, man, yo, we smell gas, and like it's really heavy, and they came out and they got to this truck, this vehicle or whatever, and they had like two things of like big jones of gallons of gas in it, but it was leaking, and it was leaking out of the truck, and it was like going down the street words. So I was like, man, if anything, would have happened, somebody would have lit a match or whatever, like that could have just, who knows what could have happened. But yeah, man, people are just like, yo, man, I'm just going to buy gas before it's all gone. Like, come on, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's all you saw on social media last week. People just taking up everything, and they mama filling up gas tanks though. Like, hey, WTF, man. The world is something else.
They're just blindsiding us with irrelevant BS because they're doing some stuff behind the scenes that could change or restructure everything else in the Congress right now, especially the 1619 Act right now that they're trying to revoke. I'm like, how the fuck are you going to try to revoke something that you know happened? And you guys are trying to cover it up. Stop this nonsense. And it seems like no one is trying to risk their lives and trying to fight for that. So you might never know within like another several months. And when you guys started seeing, I might know. I'm making sure that my kids is going to be homeschooled. You guys are not going to be teaching him that fabricated BS that you guys are held folded for in Congress trying to abolish the 1619 Act to prevent our children from even learning about the real history of a fucking America and its people. Are you serious? Never the fuck again. This country has failed a lot of us, and whoever that is embracing this, I feel so sorry for them because they are probably as dumber than the last president that was in office, including this one.
Hey man, that's nothing but facts, man. I'm
like, I try not to get involved in politics. Like, that's not my forte. But what's been demonstrated to me in the past 15, 16 years, forget it, bro. Like, I got ammunition for every single candidate that's in that ballot.
Hey, facts on that one, man. I hear you, man. And you guys, man, we gonna move on here on the podcast. Hey, yo, man, Shiz Lanksy. I appreciate you coming past, man. I've been on your podcast. It was an awesome time. I gotta come back on there again. And like you said, you've been here on the main podcast and been on the wrestling podcast. But for my listeners and viewers, man, can you tell them about the Off the Top Ropes podcast, man?
Oh man, you really want to get me started on this? Jesus Christ. OTTR, you see my belt over here. This is our baby. This is our prototype baby for right now until we get the real one made. Yeah, so it's me, E Dukes, Uncle Fats, Carew. He came back in season 3, so he's back on the team. Cyber, Big Mike, new members, Bobby Gunplay, Maverick, and of course my main man Ian, the architect behind the scenes that helped us do our designs and stuff like that. Without him, we wouldn't even be alive. We started this thing last year, 2020. For me as a vivid wrestling fan, I was just so angry about how Asuka, Shayna Baszler were booked in last year's, 2 Elimination Chamber 2020. And I found this app called Anchor, and I thought about it. It's like I usually talk wrestling with my boys, but that's only when I get to see them. It's not like we have like a platform where we just come together and then just talk about professional and independent wrestling the way how like we usually did it as we were younger in high school. So when I came across Anchor, and I just did the first episode just raw, organic, and it felt great. I cut that bug. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't no podcaster before. I ain't know nothing about a damn podcast at first. So me learning it as I went along and trying to format it, I'm like, okay. So certain things I got to do this, that, and there. So if I can incorporate this, I'm like, okay. I start to become a content creator, a producer in my head, an editor now. So now I'm like, okay, cool. And me being as an artist, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just try to do whatever the hell I could. I just try to do whatever I could for this thing and see if it works. Before it was a hobby, now it ended up being a little small business, and 300 and I guess 37 episodes later, few guest stars came on, several instances that happened, certain roasting sessions that happened. If you are a vivid fan of professional wrestling and independent wrestling, yes, support your independent wrestling, because without them, we will not see the superstars that we see on the television screens today. They all got started from somewhere. They can't all just go straight from training to WWE or AEW. These guys got to go travel around, get their craftsmanship, get their accolades up. You know what I'm saying? This is a job to them. So support their independent promotions too, man. Because without those, we will not see the new stars coming out for the next 5-10 years later that can make an impact for the professional wrestling business.
Hey,
so This is what we do over here for OTTR.
Hey, I like it, man. You know I'm a fan of it, man. I've been a part of an episode. Like I said, man, I'm trying to be on the episode again. I'm right with you, man, because like I said, I just talked to wrestling with my buddy, man, and I was just like, yo, man, I know that I got perspectives, and I know a lot of other people got, because, you know, I used to go on YouTube before I even started a podcast. I really didn't know what it was, didn't know what the hell I was doing. But, you know, just go on, you know, on YouTube and just look at reactions and reviews of other people's thoughts on this match or that match, and, you know, just started podcasting and connecting with so many, you know, different other people such as yourself, man, that talk wrestling, chat wrestling. You know, man, it's real cool, man. It's real cool. And, you know, man, I'm always, you know, down. You know, I'm always down for Off the Top Ropes podcast, man. I dig it. I really do. But this past Friday, we lost a legend in pro wrestling, you guys. For those who did not know, New Jack passed away. When I saw this on Twitter, I didn't click on the name. I didn't know, you know, of course, it was what it was. But I have this thing. Well, I don't have this thing. It's this thing where certain people will be trending on Twitter just for crazy stuff, you know, and hey, I didn't click on New Jack, but what I did find out, of course, he passed away. You know, he had a heart attack and stuff like that. What was like your favorite New Jack moment?
First and foremost, rest in peace to New Jack. He was 58 years old. He passed away on Friday of a heart attack, according to his longtime girlfriend. So yeah, that kind of like went over my head too. And then when I kind of like read it, I'm like, damn, really? Just when we just seen him doing a few indie shows just several weeks back, and then of course he was on Dark Side of the Ring. He had an episode for season 2. So a lot of us were still like, whoa, now we got to see New Jack talk about his life experience. My favorite memory of him per se, there had to been two. There had to be 2 memories. I remember when he's a Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and they redid the Roddy King beating. But they did it in reverse. They did it, New Jack, Mustafa, D'Lo Brown, who was their heater at the time in Smoking Mountain Wrestling, and one other person was in the ring, and they were beating the crap out, I think was the Midnight Express, if I'm not getting the tactic correct, and they beat the crap out of them. And then you got to remember, this was the mid-90s in Kentucky, and this was no racial, and there was no racial empathy still in the world that still coexist. And he even said this many times, like, there were people that wanted to kill me, and they were so mad at me because of the being that I gave dude that they were waiting for me at my car. It was that bad for him, but he knew as being a heel, but by far being a black heel, portraying that what most people thought about black people anyway, he got over. He's got over in a dangerous way that it's I can even try to even portray that gimmick in my mind and try to go out there to do it. And if I did, I probably wouldn't get the same response. I think the only person I think that can get away with that right now is Nick Gage. Right now, currently. The second match, the second memory was definitely I don't want to say the mass transit incident. That's too basic, and everyone knows about that incident. I believe the Vic Grimes fall. The Vic Grimes fall that he did in one of the ECW pay-per-views, I think in 1999, 2000.
Okay.
And Vic Grimes wasn't trying to jump off like a long, high stand, and
he threw him off.
Out, no, we're going on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And pulled him with him, but Vic Grimes is bigger and thicker than him, and New Jack was falling first. He falls on the concrete, and Vic Grimes' big ass body just and leaning on top of his chest, his head, and all that. He had a cracked skull on one side of his head. That's why he's legally blind. He was legally blind in one eye, and that's why he has insomnia. So he was messed up, and he never forgave Vic Grimes for that until when they went to an independent promotion, and they had some Extreme Rule type match, and there was like a long a table stack, and they was at the very top, and New Jack just pulled out a taser, tased the man, and said, "Bombs away," and threw him off. And the man nearly landed on the outside floor. If he would have missed it by 2 or 3 inches away from the apron, he would have died. And he said, "Good riddance," because he said the MFer never called me to say, "New Jack, I'm sorry," none of that. So New Jack knows how to hold grudges toward people, and he will get at you.
Yeah.
So that's the one does. So those are the 2 things that I know about New Jack. I'm like, he's not no sucker. And more importantly, if he calls the matches before you guys come out to that apron and you don't do what you're supposed to do, he's going to mess you up. And he did not play. That's why I was like, I will not be in the dark alley with him because I might forget it. Like, just here, take my money. I'm done. Like, no, it's not worth it for me. I'm gone. I'm done.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. My man New Jack, man, wasn't nothing to be played with, man. I seen his tribute by Paul Heyman on Talking Smack, and I felt what Paul Heyman was saying, here, we would show you a bunch of highlights and videos about a person, but they couldn't because my man was a gangster. He went hard. And when I saw the trailer for his episode on Dark Side of the Ring, I was like, oh man, I gotta see this. I gotta see the part that sold me when he threw him off of the scaffolding. And I was like, I wasn't a really big ECW fan growing up, so I heard of New Jack, and but I couldn't separate New Jack, like the guy New Jack, the wrestler, or New Jack the movie. So I didn't know what was going on. But man, when I saw the episode, I was like, by far one of the best episodes of Dark Side of the Ring. Prayers go out to his family. May he rest in peace, man. Yeah, man, he was something, man, in wrestling, man. He was something. But you guys, man, we're gonna move on, you guys, here on the podcast. Before we go, man, you guys, it is time for the 11:30 podcast hot seat, you guys. Yes, I got my guest Shiz Lanksy here, man. It's time for the 11:30 podcast hot seat. I got 6 questions for you, Shiz. You ready?
Hit me with it.
All right. You kind of like mentioned it a little bit earlier when you said something about the Popeye's chicken sandwich, though, over Twitter this past weekend. Is a ridiculous debate, though, because I don't even know why is a debate is kind of like one-sided for me, though. But Popeye's or KFC?
As in the chicken sandwiches?
Well, not just chicken sandwiches, just in general, though.
Oh, just in general. I gotta go with Popeyes on this one, man, to really be honest. I'm not sold on KFC's mac and cheese and mashed potatoes. Nah, can't do it. You can't imitate a black thing and make it into your own. I'm not accepting that, please.
Hey, I'm with Popeyes all the way. I just feel as though KFC chicken just be too, like, it ain't right. I don't know. It ain't right. They biscuits be dry. I like that they potato wedges, but they just got rid of that though. So Popeyes all the way though, all the way.
Really?
All right.
Really? You just got rid of the potato wedges?
Yeah, I heard they got rid of their potato wedges. I believe last time I had.
No, they better not. That was the only last thing that I liked about KFC was the potato wedges.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All right. If you can go back in time to a special moment, what would it be?
To a special moment? 1998, WrestleMania 14, sending it back into the bleachers. I think if I can go back in time and watch myself do that day one more time, I would have tried to whisper it into myself in my ear 3 things. Say this, and do this. And maybe you might have a better outcome. If I would went back and told my 8-year-old self.
Okay, man. I like that. I like that answer, man. It's the end of the match. You're on the top ropes. What move are you hitting to finish the match?
I'm in a big fat body splash. A big fat body splash like Haku or Umaga. And boom.
Okay. That's cool right there. You're gonna get the 1, 2, 3. All right. What's the weirdest thing a guest has done at your house?
Oh, damn it. Okay. If I can really say this, one person that did the most obsolete thing at the house was stashed their work in here, but inside behind my poster in a cracked wall where I had something stashed in there before too, and thinking I didn't see what she did. She stashed something in that little hidey hole that I had behind my Undertaker poster and my old place 2 places ago. And it was like a little like crack, but it had like a hole in it. So I remember she pulled out like a little brown bag and stuffed it in there and put my poster over it. Like, I'm gonna come back to it later. And one day when she was asleep, I woke up and I checked that little hole, and I woke her up and then I threw her out the house.
Hey man, that's crazy. That is so crazy right there. And when I saw this question and I came up and I was like, well, I guess the craziest thing your guest has done at your house is, I guess, ask to stay, huh? I guess that'll be some people answer right there. Like, man, they done asked to stay now. I guess that's just crazy. That's crazy. But
that's the second worst for me. That would have been the runner-up too. Like someone said, like, hey, I ain't really got no place to go. I don't got no more that I can, deal with and shit like that. You've been the only one that's been in my corner and this, that, and the third. That's how it kind of rises up. That you be like, no, you're not staying here. Unless you paying half my rent with me, I'm cool with it. But if you think that you're staying for free, guess not.
Okay. What's the weirdest place you have had sex?
College top floor hallway, I think the 12th floor, in a stairwell on an early Saturday morning with one of my ex-girlfriends.
You weren't afraid of heights?
No. And then no matter of fact, we was inside the campus building. So we was on like the stairwell that would go like the like emergency stairwell that would go all the way down to the first floor. So it goes like the east floor. So we was on like the very top one. And it's like early Saturday morning where, people are either gone for the weekend or they're knocked out probably from partying the night before or stuff like that. But it wasn't that case.
Okay. That's dope. All right. If someone narrated your life, who would you want it to be? Who would you want, the narrator to be?
That's a good question. Damn, that's really a tough ass question. I probably would have said like Lawrence Fishburne, Samuel L. Jackson, or Ray Liotta, who played Henry Hill in the Godfather.
No, okay. That's what's up.
I mean, excuse me, not Godfather, Goodfellas.
Okay. Yeah, I think I knew what you meant. That's what's up. I probably said, man, if I had someone to narrate my life, I'd go big or go home, man. I'd say Morgan Freeman. Man. Go big or go home, man. That man done played everything. He done played God. He done played everything, man, to known in Hollywood. So I say Morgan.
And an honorable mention, if I could throw this one out there, he did the voiceover for the Monday Night Wars that was on WWE Network, whoever that was, and he played the dude in Barbershop that try to buy Ice Cube's barbershop.
I think I know what you're talking about.
That dude, his voice. I need his voice. I need his and Big Rhymes' voice.
Was it William Shatner?
Nah, not William Shatner. Not William Shatner.
Okay.
I know. Definitely not him. But dude played the Baby Boy too. Some other stuff, but the one that I just thought about, I was like, yo, that the dude that played the villain in Barbershop, the very first one, the one that had the gold teeth.
Okay.
His voice, his voiceover was the one that did the WWE Network's Monday Night War little docu-series that WWE had done back then.
Yeah.
His voice did that one. So I'm like, you know what? I can use his voice.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Hey, yo, man, Shiz Lanksy, man, I appreciate you joining me this week here on the 1130 podcast, man. It's been an awesome time chopping it up with you, man, this week on the podcast. Before you go, man, any shout outs, any questions you have for me, anything you'd like to say?
Just shout us out. Shout out the podcast, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for having me this time, really on the main hub show. So at least you guys know outside of wrestling how I am, who I am, and the person that I am trying to become. You know what I'm saying? So at least that you know a different side of me that I don't usually expose to the public. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to you for helping me do that today. Follow the podcast, man. Y'all know, as I said it earlier in the episode, I shouldn't have to repeat myself. Hit that like, share, subscribe, notifications, bells, favorites, subscribe, all 9 yards. Just help support the group, help support us as we try to grow this thing to new heights. And, just keep the grind up.
Hey, man, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. I appreciate you, Shiz, man, for stopping past here. And like you said, man, just opening up, man, beyond wrestling, man, because when you have someone on who's a wrestler, they kind of like don't necessarily want to just talk about wrestling. They kind of like want to talk about everything else because that's all they talk about. So, man, I appreciate you opening up and just, coming in here, man, and just talking your truth, man. I appreciate you 100%. And you guys, man, if you're into wrestling, you always hear me, man, talk about it on the podcast here. And at the end of the shows, man, go check out my guys' podcast, Off the Top Ropes podcast, available on Spotify, Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts at. You guys go subscribe, favorite, do all that good stuff, man, for real. And Shiz Lanksy, man, I appreciate you stopping past here, man, on the podcast this week.
Thank you, Dre. I much appreciate you. I mean, you're welcome to come back on ours. We just have to set that up. Probably won't worry about that with season 4 when we come back. We'll definitely have you on for that joint. So we'll definitely talk about that.
Okay, no problem, man. Once again, man, the world is getting, a little bit back to some normalcy, man. So stay safe out there in Boston. Keep your head up, man.
I'm getting my first vaccination shot tomorrow, so that's step 1.
Hey, for real, man. We all trying to get back to normal, man. I told myself I got a circle mapped out of everybody who I've been podcasting with. We've been on the show multiple times that always, stayed in contact that I want to meet, and you're one of them, man. So keep doing your thing, man. For real, stay prayed up, and all good things, man, gonna come. So once again, thank you for joining me this week on the podcast.
No problem, man. Hey, salute to the 1130 podcast. Salute to us, OTTR, man. It's gonna be a banger when we get this crossover episode together, man. So y'all stay in tune. Y'all see what me and Dre on Wheels got some stuff for you all later on. You heard? Shout out to EB Radio too, by the way. Contact me.
Yo, Shiz, man. Thank you for joining me here on the podcast. Yo, EB Radio, man. You heard what my man Shiz said, man. Hit him up, man. Yo, what an awesome time chatting with you. I thank you, man, for coming on. Just talking your truth, man. Spitting all facts, man. Just telling me how you feel. Like I said, it's Mental Health Awareness Month for everybody out there, man. That's going through things quietly by themselves or whatnot, man. Hey, there's always somebody out there, that you got to turn to, whether you may feel like it or not, though. Hey, I felt that way too. I expressed all that on my documentary. It's available now for everybody who want to check it out. New episode will be dropping this Sunday as well. But man, from my man Shiz talking about his passing of his dad, and just not being happy, and pushing them away, and just all things. I'm growing up in Boston, man, so I appreciate all of that. Like here in DC, man, it's hoods, man, it's projects, my mom, raised all four of, all of us, the damnedest, yes, like I said, we had a stepfather who came in and accept my mom full, to the max. Yeah, you got kids, and I'm gonna help you with them, man. He wasn't, around for, long, but, we all be like, yo, that's daddy right there, and he passed away, when I was only 7 years old. But, man, just daily, and it's not more so of, that right there that I may have or had struggled with. It was more so, like Shiz said, man, just trying to be yourself, or trying to fit in and finding yourself, and me, having a disability, and just so many factors, man. And, I like I said, man, each and every week, I keep asking God, man, to just keep bringing like-minded people on the show to share their thoughts and, their, life experience, man, all that, man, here on the podcast. So, man, it's really, really an honor, and it's really, really dope. Like I said, Shiz, gotta get back on your podcast. You're welcome here anytime on the 1130 podcast, man. It was really, really fun chopping it up with you this week. You guys, man, if you're wrestling fans, man, excuse me, if you're wrestling fans, you guys, right after you done checked out Talk Pro Wrestling, for real, immediately go head over to the Off the Top Roads podcast. Check them out, subscribe, listen, download, do all that good stuff, man. For real, share it, man. That's my man. And it was an awesome time having you on the podcast this week, my guy. But man, it's been a great show, man. Been a really, really, really great show. I'm about to head on out of here, man. Wednesday been great. Before I do, you guys, man, don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. Follow me on Twitter at Dre on Wheels. Follow me on Instagram at the 1130 podcast. Like the 1130 podcast on Facebook. Subscribe. Yes, if you haven't already, go to YouTube and subscribe to the 1130 podcast. Yes, we are 1,100 subscribers on YouTube, and we doing it, man. We doing the damn thing, man, for real. And also, you guys, the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. Yes, you guys, available all new episodes each and every Friday, you guys. Now on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, you guys. This month's co-host is my guy, Gator Live. So he will be joining me back this Friday, you guys, for Talk Pro Wrestling. We got a lot to talk about. We had WrestleMania Backlash this past Sunday. Roman Reigns did his damn thing, man. Like he did it. Like it was a hell of a show. We're gonna talk about all that and so much more that been going down in wrestling world and everything trending wrestling, man. This Friday, the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. And then also, you guys, if you would like to be a guest here on the podcast, email me. That's the 1130 podcast at gmail.com. The 1130 podcast at gmail.com. Or just DM me on social media, man, so we can work. You dig, man? It's been a very, very fun episode. And man, I'm about to head on out of here. Hope you guys stay blessed. Talk to someone, man. Just, anybody. For real. Just talk to someone. Let it be known, man. Don't struggle in silence. Say how you feel. Say how you feel. And man, we got to stop all this hate going in the world. Love each other. It's already some crazy times going on. With last week, with everybody buying up the gas, to everybody trying to get back to normal, and like everything, man. It's just, come on, we gotta work together, you guys. Come on, for real. But everybody, stay prayed up, stay blessed, and give all the glory to God. It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels, and I'm out.
I'm from the city. DC, that's where I'm from. 1130 Podcast. Dre and Willsy is the one. Let's get it. Yeah. Who with me? Let's get it. Yeah. No with me. Yeah. I'm from the city. DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 1130 Podcast. Dre and Willsy is the one.
He the one, nigga.
So let's get it,
baby. He the one.
With me.
So
yeah.
Breeze, baby.
Let's get it. You with me. Yeah, they gon' hate, but they ain't stopping this. I'ma keep making hits. Dre and Wills, you know it ain't no copying. Was you sitting there on the carpet with us? Yeah, we knew we had some options. We blessed, we ain't got them problems. Speak something that I